post CPI talk as of February 10th, 2022. Let's get into it.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is my stock, Bitcoin, gold, and silver daily market recaps. Please subscribe if you like what you see. Thank you.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is a intraday live update, February 10th, Thursday, post CPI. Again, if you're not a part of the Discord room and you're watching these videos, please stop in. I'm actually asked people, hey, I'm going to do a quick update, drop some tickers, and kind of go from there. Again, today's action, a lot of people, we predicted that there was going to be some definitely volatility and there potentially was some traps and setups that were rather confusing, and hence why we always say first mouse gets the trap, second mouse gets the cheese. It's better to respond to the news and the action versus trying to predict it. Again, been doing this for 20 years. I can predict the news pretty good, but just, again, I found that I ultimately lose more money trying to front run the news versus knowing what the news is, watching the reaction, and then trading accordingly. I know that sounds very obvious, but guess what? I mean, go to the stock tweets, go to Twitter, go all over the internet, and what are people doing? They're trying to be the smart guy that predicts the action, and it just, unfortunately, it is what it is. So I'm firing up the charts. I just hate that people feel like they have to predict the markets versus just let it come to them. So let's talk about the SPY first. We talked about, breaking the downtrend. Clearly it did that. But this is the one thing, again, we talked about this. Wait for the news. Well, look what happened. You dropped back. You filled this gap here at the 450 area. You could have bought the AM gap for a trade, and look, it spiked back to the 100-day. So we talked about this on the Discord room too. If you bought the dip, you could have sold the rip. I mean, that's 6 easy points. Post news, you got everything out there. You don't have to overthink it. Now, here becomes the next question. Like, what is next? Well, now you just got to watch this area. I would say you need to stay over the 20-day. That's the key. I mean, not even the trend line. I don't care as much. Like, stay over the 20-day, because if you can't stay over the 20-day, notice how it's been held there, resistance, 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 gap over it. That would be my biggest downside potential move at this point in the market. Again, keep in mind the seasonality. Dropped this earlier. Let me see. I apologize if this is a waste of time. Here's the Stock Traders Almanac. Thursday and Friday of this month are typically bullish. And then where is all this stuff? I got so many. Yeah, just trust me that the middle of February, you can go to the Discord room. Middle of February is typically turns bearish. So, long story short, I apologize that it just gets jumbled here. Like, you need to get above yesterday's high to be bullish, below the 20-day bearish. Now, again, you can short the high end of the range. You can buy the low end of the range. That's where you get the best trades for the tightest stops. If you're trying to do anything else, man, you're being very aggressive and you're going to put yourself in a position to lose. Let's get into the Qs. Now I'm going to start to rattle, because if everything's based off the SPY and the Qs, that's what you need to know what's going on. It was pretty funny this morning. Like, again, we opened near the, the lows here, tested this, 460, what was it? Like almost 450, 359, 360 area. Boom. It was close enough for government work for a gap fill, but notice we popped right off the open this morning. I mean, we were talking about this. Like, if you had any, oh God, why is this? I hate this chart. You could see right off the open, boom, dropped, came right back. Okay, so $1 million question. What's the next move? Notice we failed at the 200-day. If you were watching and waiting, you could have snapped all over that for shorting it. Okay, so now what's the next move? Watch what happens when we retest the lows. If we get back down to the lows, you need to break below them. That will certify bearishness, because then that means this was all a trap for the bulls. And if it's a bull trap, we should come back down. And so if you break let's say 459s, then the first support again is going to be like 353. Why do I keep saying 4? 359, 353. This gap area, 351. Ultimately, middle of February is coming. I told you guys this does not look bullish. Like, this is the big blow off. I bet. Notice how here again, 20-month moving average and last month's low, I feel like they will hit at some point. At some point. That's what you need to know. Keep it in mind. But also keep in mind, too, we don't know what the fuck the feds are going to say. You know, all this data comes out. You can try to predict it. The market can be totally irrational, rational. It doesn't matter. Do the IWM, again, just try not to overthink it. Like, the market's irrational all the time. I tell this to people. 20-day. It looks like it. See, notice here you have this bottom, all this volume down here. Let me, again, here's the volume. You can see that's the low area. It was due to bounce. Why are you being so bitchy? Yeah, it's due to bounce. And now what are you watching for? If you're a bull or a bear, I mean, this is, again, the 20-day. Notice the low of the day today was at the 20-day and approximately the gap fill. When you see this action and it starts moving quickly the other way, be aware, like, hey, if you open down here, it's probably going to pop because that's going to be the most obvious buy spot. Now, obvious to me, professionals, big money, maybe not you, but that's how they're looking at it. They're looking at the 20-day and they're saying, okay, that was also the highs from 2.3. It was also the highs from 126. That's what the market's thinking. So now that you pop, again, close, you want to, again, confirm bullishness. You want to close over yesterday's highs, but also just be aware it needs to stay over the 20-day. The 20-day is the key. Stay over it, and I think you're going to have more bullishness to come. Let's get into a few names that people were talking about. XOP, Jono, hope you're watching this, buddy. Get over this 113 area. I need to see a close over this. I need confirmation. I'd like to see more volume too. Unfortunately, it is petering out up here. Does that necessarily mean it's bearish or bullish? It just says it just might not have the momentum for the short term. Keep in mind, if you zoom out, big picture, XOP, 39, big wavy up pattern. People say, oh, it's a wave pattern. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Let the levels talk. If it gets over 113, then it can go up to the 120s. We'll see what happens. Letter X, this is one we've been talking about a lot. If you're not buying, not been talking, what did we say? We're going to come into the trend line in the 200-day at some point. I literally drew that circle there a couple days ago. Guess what? We're there. Do you want to sell covered calls? Do you want to hedge? Or do you want to watch? Now, again, if you're swing trading this, have your plan. I mean, this could be a spot to take profit, especially if you're buying at 18 or 19 at the lows like we recommended. Not a bad trade. Selling some out of the money covered calls, maybe say a month out. You sell the March, 22s, maybe the 25s. I mean, how deep do you want? I mean, you could sell the freaking 18s if you think this thing's going to come right back. You know what your plan is, know what your risk profile is. And again, if you want to take all the money, that might be the easiest way. And if you want to hedge out some, again, I just would not buy puts. I'm not a big put buyer person because you got to be quick to the draw. Well, when you sell options, the decay is in your favor. So what else is in there that people want to talk? Gold, I don't want to make this too long. We're breaking this old downtrend, but again, I would also argue that maybe there is another trend here. Like you couldn't close above that. I mean, it looks okay. Silver, keep in mind, what have we talked about 1,000 times? Commodities. Silver is up. X is up. Valet's up. I mean, Valet's on fire continuously. It's just, what do we say? If it breaks out of this channel over the 200-day, hello. Notice what's lagging. Tesla's down today. Apple's down today. I mean, the candles are green because, again, remember, they open low, pop. Apple, actually not even. AMD, tech. If you have not watched the previous videos on the tech war to come, the problems that ultimately are going to happen from tech will be here 20 years from now. These same names will be still trading. Will they be priced at hundreds of PE level? Will their PEs be 100? Will they have expanding margins? Will they be the growth companies? Probably not. At some point, a growth company always becomes value. That transition can be extremely painful. And when value companies become growth companies, you want to get in at the lows when they're growth, because when they turn into the like the value turns into growth. I mean, this video is going to be 10 minutes and I'm stopping. Go look at the monthly. Like something like X at one point was a value company that went growth. Bong. Valet, same kind of thing. Bong. Like that looks no different than a tech stock. I mean, I could go into more of these tech names, but just trust me when I say this. Like when growth becomes tech, it usually happens because value becomes growth. Let's start this over. Value becomes growth. It acts like a growth stock, and so it acts like tech. So rephrasing the words clearly, value, cheap, then bull market and commodities turns into a growth name, goes apeshit, acts like tech. The characteristics change, the sectors change, the money change, the action doesn't. People are still hyped to chase things. They still do things silly. So, TLT, last one. Thank you, Scott. I saw it on the Discord room on my other computer. Ooh, we got to hold above the 50 month. And the daily, we are back at major, absolute major support. It has to hold here. We talked about the 136s on the previous video having to be the lows. I think the 10 year somewhere around 2%. Have to hold. All right, if you got questions, stop by the Discord room. Please subscribe, share with your friends, leave a comment. Interacting will only help share this with people. Again, my goal isn't to make money off of this. It's to educate people that want to be educated. And at this point, the more people that see it, I can help versus trying to individually talk about some of this stuff. So putting all this on the video is great because people can learn easier from that. All right, talk to you all later.
Thanks for watching. For more trading knowledge and insight, click on the videos on the right, and also join the Discord room. Link is in the description below. If you have any questions, please stop on by the Discord room and let's chat. Thank you.